So this is a video of a combination we were working in our Advanced MKG Method class today. It's a basic angle like ACUS or basic X angles here, so forehand and backhand. But then we do a Redondo motion and then a vertical Redondo motion on both the forehand and the backhand side. An overhand abanico with tick like that, right? And this could be a long with tick motion, and it really could be converted into a thrust if you're interested in application. We did that during class. And then an abanico with tick on each side. I'll show each component and then the whole flow. Take it piece by piece or put it all together. Now with the Redondo, so we're repeating the same angles, which would be 1 and 2, but we're going to double each one up. This angle 1 here, you're going to finish tip left. You wheel it in front and pull it through, repeating that same line. If I see that line in the air in front of me, I trace it and retrace it. By getting the body involved, it's less wrist or arm, and you're really picking it up and it almost falls through on its own. Then that becomes particularly important with the angle 2. So you pull the 2 through, your tip comes maybe right and maybe just for a moment. Now, I let the tip drift right and wheel in front of me and then turn it through. So again, I think the turning of the hip and the shoulder, which is really facilitated by the foot here, pivoting like that, is easier to let gravity do a lot of that work for you. So I'll show it from the rear so that's easier to follow along with that motion and kind of see. Angle 1, tip is left, wheel it around, and angle 1. Then angle 2, bring it around, and 2. Okay, so backhand and forehand Redondo, these will be essentially circular movements, wheeling on this side of my body and this side of my body. The motion will look like this. I go forehand plus a forehand, both diagonal, then a backhand vertical Redondo. Then my angle 2 plus another angle 2 and a vertical Redondo like that. So I'm taking from forehand twice to a backhand, and then since I'm finishing that set of 3 in the backhand, well great, now I'm primed to go with my angle 2 because that starts as a backhand. I wheel that through in the forehand, wonderful, now I'm set up for a forehand motion. Having angle 1 already, Redondo already, backhand vertical Redondo, we then finish that motion overhead. This motion on the backhand side is palm up with my knuckles facing to my left because I'm snapping this out overhead, right? This way, throwing it this way, hit. On the forehand side, it's very similar. When I'm coming here, my knuckles are now pointing that way, and I'm hitting overhead. If I let my elbow flare out a little bit, my palm kind of goes from down to the right and even up a little bit. It's just taking this and setting it down so that this tip cracks right on the top of the head. That would be 1, 2, 3, hit, back, 2, 2, 3, hit. So we have angle 1, 1 redondo, backhand vertical redondo, and an overhead. So I go left, right. Now since I finished that left and right, again, since it's abanico, there's sort of a snapping or almost a bouncing quality to it. Here like that, it's not gonna finish right, it's gonna go from right around. Now look at it, want to just drop right into that too. So we let it twice. That's your forehand with your overhead. Now I'm gonna go right first because I'm on my right to left. The bouncing off that left makes it want to pull through on the angle 1 side. Perfect, now we got a bridge.
So you could see this as 2 angles, an overhead, and 1, 2, 3 upstairs, or 2 angles, 2 overhead motions, and a side to side.
So, thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful. If you're an MKG Detroit student and you're not in the Advanced MKG class or the Phase 2 class, then don't tell anyone that I did this from that class. But we did this in that class and it went over really well. We had a good time. So I hope you have a good time too. If you have questions, comment in the video here or message me or come see me at the gym and we'll talk about it before or after class. Thanks guys. See you next time. Couple more times. Here. Vertical thump. Switch it and through. With your partner, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5 and 6 to connect. Then 1, 2,